I think growing up, I was playing a lot of sports outside of school with like brothers, neighbours, that sort of stuff. So I was constantly into the whole sporting aspect of it. My main sport is football, and so I enjoyed it. Whilst I was in secondary school, I was in an all-girls school. So not many people enjoyed sports, it was just a normal thing. So there was a handful of us who enjoyed playing, and everyone was better at a particular sport, and for me it was football, so that allowed me to be a leader within my class setting and stuff. So things like sports days, being sport leaders, going to primary schools, running sports days there, helping out, coaching, that sort of stuff. So it was always important to me. I think there's a big sort of stigma against Asian girls taking part in sports, which I myself was able to kind of maybe push a little bit more, being Asian myself, and making sure the whole community was kind of understood that it's not a bad thing if we're doing sports. It's not we're not doing anything bad or anything like that, so it was good. My nickname amongst my older cousins was Beckham, because they would say, oh, you play football just like she did, and so that was always the nickname, and it kind of just travelled from there. So a lot of, when I go over to relatives' house and stuff, they were always like, you're right, Beckham, but that was just from them watching that movie and seeing Asian girls can take part in sports. It's still a massive issue. I mean, at first I faced the barrier myself because my dad wasn't as supportive, but when I kind of hit a certain age and I had my sports teachers, I had different coaches kind of saying, let her play, it kind of allowed him to see that it's not too bad, and he encouraged me. He was turning up to my matches, that sort of stuff. So we broke that barrier, but there's a lot of young girls who aren't able to break that barrier with their families, and depending on the cultural beliefs and backgrounds that you come from, it makes it harder. One of the sessions I'm running is the girls football, and to see that predominantly it's Asian girls accessing it means there's a certain barrier being broken, and if it means I have to speak to the parents myself, if it means I'm getting the girls dropped home safely, then that's something I'm willing to do so they can come and kick about for 2 hours, because it's breaking another barrier.
Well, I've known Henna for about 2 years now, and she's a really good coach. She can whenever you get angry at the players and stuff, she helps to calm me down, and she's a really good coach. She just helps you through everything.
I think Henna's a good coach because she inspires us, she does good work, and these sessions are helping everybody develop more skills. I played football since I was 7, and I stopped recently, but this is making me keep up with my football, and obviously it's inspired me to go on my level 1 FA course, be a coach.
I wanted to study youth work, and that's what I studied, and by studying that I was allowed to implement sports into a lot of the things that you do when you're working with young people, because I think sports helps young people, it gives them an outlet, so it allows them to socialise without there being such a demand on anything else but just playing football and kicking about. So if I'm coaching in a football setting, it means that girls from the local community might not know each other, coming together, being able to learn new skills in football, things that they maybe never knew before, maybe only saw their brothers do. I think that's the main reason I decided to get into coaching. When you see young people you're working with bettering themselves and going on further in their own career paths, and if it's a sport-based career path, that's a bonus. But when they tell me they've enjoyed the session, or they're going to come back next week if it's their first session, or they're going to bring a friend down, that sort of stuff is always good, because you're doing something right if the numbers are increasing every week. We need to push it a lot more and get more female coaches out there doing things for their community, whether it's for just a school, for their whole community, maybe even just for family members, it needs to be done. For as long as I have a passion for football, I believe I will keep doing it, and for as long as I see communities not having anything for girls to access, it's something I'd want to be pushing more and more, because I think this is maybe other than school times, and maybe if they play for a team, this is the first session that girls can access free, outside of school, meet other people, that sort of thing. So for as long as that happens, we'll keep pushing it.